brain what to do, basically. And that made me think, do you tell your brain what to do, or does your brain tell you what to do?
Well, first you need to give it some context. So, me personally, I believe your brain versus your sentient consciousness are two different things. Because to me, if they weren't two different things, I mean, granted, I can explain none of the neurology behind any of this, but because I literally don't know how a fucking brain works, or any of the lobes, any of that shit, any of the millions of pulses and all that nerd shit, all that theoretical scientist ass shit. To me, I feel like if every brain works the exact same, everybody would be just alike. You know, but I think it's your consciousness or your sentience that interprets the information, and which is why you get different personalities, different characteristics and stuff like that, and different perceptions. Like, I can tell you one sentence and tell him the same sentence, but both of you guys could understand it differently. You know?
Do you think that's just the different constructed neural pathways?
Yeah, but see, that's why I said I know none of the nerd shit behind it.
People develop, like, just learning new things, you know, like a manner of speaking, or you learn, like, different, like, when you get better at reading a book, for instance, your brain develops those new neural pathways. And so it just could just be that you're helping your brain process things easier, you know? But I don't know shit either. You know, I just a little bit, the surface knowledge that I do know or think that I know.
So the only example I can try to find a way to articulate myself here is like, let's say you have one of these friends that you hang out with and everything, you invite them and all kinds of stuff. Like, you invite them constantly, you bring them out, then you always end up paying or something like that. You know, like your brain that identifies patterns and traits and characteristics of people, you know, will tell you you're being taken advantage of. It's like, this person doesn't care about you. And it's because your brain has noticed that this person doesn't call you, this person doesn't offer to pay. But you as a person are thinking that they live their own life. Maybe they just simply don't think about calling you. Or maybe you always just do it too much, like that devil's advocate. Your brain is just like, this person doesn't care about me, but you're just like, he's probably just got his own things going on. So you basically talk your brain out of perceiving that person as a bad friend. You know what I mean? Or am I doing a bad way of articulating that?
I think that's a good way of articulating.
To me, that's the only way I can think of it. Because to me, I talk to myself occasionally to help myself work through problems. You know, because it's like it's almost like my brain will come up with an idea, but then I'll use my own social construct in a way to be like, no, there's a way to explain this, and then I'll explain it to myself, and then everything will start working together. It's like, at first, maybe it sounds like a mental disease, but
I mean, that's an interesting point. But I also I would try to explain things to myself to where it makes sense to me, and then when I go to say it, nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
I mean, it seems like that's what I'm currently experiencing. But
what are you talking about? Because it seems like I understand what you're saying.
Like, the way I heard it
or is that what you're saying, or did I not? Did I actually prove your point?
I mean, I'm trying to, because
I'm lost already.
Yeah, because to me this feels like the fuck is that movie that nobody can ever watch from Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, dude,
the one that makes no fucking sense 8 seconds into it, where it's like the sleep movie or whatever.
Inception?
Yeah, Inception.
I've never made it past like 30-something
seconds. I think I've watched it in bits and pieces.
I think I watched the first wake up, and I think that's like legit 30 seconds.
I don't even really remember what it's about anyways.
I've never watched it.
I feel like
I've never watched it from to completion.
Maybe
but
it's because we typically don't talk about stuff like this, which is why it's so hard to understand it and stuff like that. I mean, you got to keep in mind, I spend a lot of time by myself, and I am constantly having to work through things. I talk to a lot of people, and I have to find ways to tell myself that stuff that you would normally take personal or perceive a certain way, I have no choice but not to. So I'm constantly thinking, every single day. Just at least the environment I'm constantly being thrown in, I'm just forced to. But
I think a lot of people are, though. I don't think you realize it.
what do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of time I spend I talk to a lot of people every day for a living. But I also spend a great deal of time by myself every day for a living too. And Hunter's probably the same.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind, I always use the analogy, like guys that wear 6-hour shirts, you know, every single one of them will say, I'm a gun guy, but you gave him a shooting course, he would score in the fucking like 90th percentile, if that. Well, probably like the 40th percentile. He's not that good. And he can go to the range and be about this shit all the time. Just because you go to the range every day and shoot constantly doesn't mean you get any better. But people that go there dressed like normal fucking people and then just shoot and they just focus on their fundamentals and mechanics, they go there to train to get better. So just because somebody spends time by themselves doesn't mean they're using that time as a functional period. You know, like whenever I sit by myself, I typically spend time thinking, like actually using my brain and thinking and about things that I've been through today, working on how I could have done this better, analyzing things, because I literally am supposed to recall events. You know, so naturally whenever I'm not recalling events because I've finished that, I'm just sitting there thinking about myself and thinking about things I'd like to do, how can I get there, or different things I was through. I'll sit there and work my way through it to where how can I improve myself, and then some people, whenever they sit there, they'll just zone out or they'll sit on their phone, swipe it away. And then just because you're by yourself doesn't mean you utilize the time. Where the same people that go to the range and just clack off a bunch of rounds doesn't mean they can shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the ability to shoot a gun. Yes, we see that because you've wasted $900 today. But then you got the guy who'll go out there with 3 mags and do more progress training than that guy ever will. So to me,
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my standpoint is.
I think if you got people that I can only speak for my own self, but I know that when after a while, you 'cause when you first sit by yourself, you think about yourself. But then after a while, you stop thinking about all the things that's good, and you start thinking about all the things that probably you need to fix. So maybe those guys that sit at their gun range with the SIG shirts, they've just never sat there by themselves long enough. Because I think eventually, when you got nothing but your thoughts, eventually you stop bullshitting yourself. And then you just start looking a little more inwardly, you know?
Some people are a bit scared about that. To me, that concept that I explained will typically explain why you have 40-year-olds who throw temper tantrums and get into fistfights over brake checking people, or like get mad that somebody stole their parking spot. Normal people are just like, I've got bigger problems. I'll just go park. I'll walk.
As much as I want to
care.
choke you, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go
just
park
like
over here.
you deserve to be choked because of your arrogance.
Yeah.
Because you think that you are more important than everybody else. But me, as a basic intellectual, I'm going to be like, or I can just not deal with it. I'm just going to park over here. Anyways. And then I'll just go get my shit and I'll be gone. Just some people, I think, that have not spent any time utilizing that time by themselves, because those people that just took your parking spot or get mad over a parking spot just drove over here by themselves.
Yeah.
But the only thing they were doing is just going to the store. I need to make a right here. okay, now I have to make like they're
They're just going through the motions. They're not even
that's all
thinking
they
about
do.
their own.
That's why there's no substance to most of these people.
Yeah, they're not even thinking about their own consciousness. They're not even thinking about who they are in this world.
Those are the people
Yeah.
that wake up on a day off and think,
Today's my day off.
and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't think about, God damn, it's fucking beautiful. Weather's fucking great today.
Speaking of which, it was a really fucking nice day yesterday.
Yeah.
No, when I heard you saying that, it made me think like, is your brain Gavin or is Gavin Gavin? Does that make sense? Like, do you tell your brain what to do, or does your brain tell you what to do? Or is it basic indoctrination from a youth, your parents and friends saying, you are Gavin, say mama, some dad shit, you know? And then it's programming that frontal lobe, like your hard drive, like you're on your computer. It's like the number that's this.
Yeah, you're putting in all the ones and zeros.
You're hard driving these things in, and then everything else is. Yeah, when you said that, I was like, man, dude, I've always thought like the brain's cool, but it's like, dude, I don't even think anybody could ever really break down the powers of a brain.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't.
Like just me listening to you and understanding.
As complex as a computer is, the power of the mind, dude, I think is incredible. Like, especially when you start getting into the chemical realm of your brain.
Yeah, it's just matter, dude, and it's like,
Well, it's like if taking certain substance that, like for instance, DMT, the shit that it does to your brain. I've never taken DMT, but
I've thought about it actually.
yeah, I've actually thought about it just
I'm
because
scared to know things I don't want to know. Though.
Exactly. I don't want to taint shit and just be like, if I thought hard enough, there's a portal in that door right there.
Or like,
I don't know if I want to possess that.
like
that
say,
power.
I can't. I don't recall anything as a youth, anything from like under 15. And what if something was like really fucked up, like my uncle just like ran over my head or something like that? You know?
Now it wants to.
I just thought it was interesting. You made me realize for a split second that is a very impressive, the amount of energy and power a brain has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally think your brain and yourself are two different things. I think they're two separate entities.
I will say this though, by saying that,
You saying like your
like
your
soul or
consciousness,
spirit
yeah,
or-
like you believe in a soul. And
I
then
guess if some people, I don't know.
your body is just embodying that element of you. Are you saying that your body is disconnected from your way of thinking?
Maybe that's what it is.
That
Is because I
you-
feel
so
like
you actually think that there is no the influence in the world around you didn't affect the way that you think?
I'm not saying that it doesn't. I think that's how I've developed characteristics, tendencies, behavior patterns,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I think it's only because that I have adapted those from my surroundings. And whenever I say me, I'm talking about the thing that's talking to you. Just my body is helping the thing talk to you.
Yeah.
I cannot talk to you without my vessel, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It sounds weird to say it like that.
That's
And like he said that like when you die, it just like
For-
pops off to the next thing.
So whenever, for all of us to be able to interact with each other, we need these vessels. And to me, I feel like when these things pass, they seek something else. I feel like consciousness is infinite, but mortality is limited, if that makes any sense.
So let's clarify what you mean by consciousness is infinite, because you don't remember what's before this. Unless this is either the first time that you're experiencing consciousness, or
It is
every
the billionth.
yeah, and
There's no way of
you
knowing.
just your mind basically
Well,
resets
So to
every
me,
time.
what makes sense to me, because I've developed my own belief, because I believe in God, so to speak. Whatever created this.
I think it's irrefutable that there's a God, obviously.
Yeah, it's just I'm not a scripture kind of person. I
Yeah.
don't believe in any scriptures or religions. But to me, it's the only reason you have your memories and the reason why you don't know if you've lived forever is because, to me, whenever your consciousness goes into a body, to me mentally, you become the person of those memories because those memories are stored in your brain. And now that you have taken over this one, it's part of you now. If that makes kind of any sense.
Are you saying that your body's already preempted with memories? You just haven't
No,
experienced them yet?
you experience these memories, but upon being inside of a body, those memories are stored. So you develop them. But as soon as your vessel passes, if you go to another one, you are now developing new ones.
Oh, you're saying like
And-
reincarnation.
Yeah,
shit.
and like maybe
Yeah,
whenever,
like,
and like
full,
maybe
like reset.
yeah,
Like system reboot.
So to me, I think consciousness is infinite because to me, it's something that doesn't seem possible for a brain to develop. You know, if I don't know how to describe that because I don't know any of the science. I literally, there could be an actual explanation for somebody who understands neurology to be able to explain how some of these things actually keep these things in check, like how you're able. Because I have photogenic memory. I can remember what things looked like. I can completely zone out and replay an entire scenario of what it's like to relive a scenario in my eyes. It's
Yeah.
I've got a really good memory.
I feel like I'm like 80% photogenic. I would say I'm not. Like some other people will recall some things, and then I'll like remember, like, oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right, that did happen before.
I actually
this and
question
after
you guys'
this.
shit because there's many times where I'm like, hey, you remember this? And you guys will sit there and correct me on what I remember, and it's like, am I fucked up or are these two fucked up?
Yeah,
I don't know.
we don't know.
Because I'm like,
Realistically, I think I do
concede,
know.
you
It's just I don't feel like thinking about it. It's because
Yeah.
right now I'm using a lot of my brain power right
just
now.
just to decipher, because I think it's a deciphering process to verbalize what it is that you're thinking about, what consciousness is,
Yeah,
to put that into words. You
To
know?
me,
It's
right
a-
now,
it-
I've got a little minion in my brain that's like going through the files, like, what the fuck? What does this be labeled under?
yeah, bro, our CPU is running at like 90%.
Yeah, it's just like
Needs
what,
more RAM.
what would you even label
We need to go
this
hit a
as?
Good. Come on, Steven. Let's go hit a lick. Dude, that shit was funny.
It's like, is this under a category or what?
I was
Yeah.
talking to
What's a name for that?
What's the name?
I was talking to Deontay, and I was telling him like a couple of childhood stories. And while I'm telling him this story, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I remember this story. Or if I'm just telling you the story I think I remember.
I think that is what it is, though.
It's like, I wonder how much this story that I'm telling you, if
Yeah.
I was to compare it to the
Like
original.
if you just like if you were able to go back in time and be a fly on the wall
yeah.
and just see if like what you remembered when you told it,
Yeah.
if that was as accurate as it is when you looked at it.
I was like, man, I think I'm going to just stop telling these stories, man, because I don't know if they're accurate.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm just remembering a memory. You know? I'm not playing it. I don't know. I wonder if some people's brains are able to really mimic that. But I've got to where I question if I could. Yeah. Or maybe I'm just honest and just like, I'm pretty sure this happened.
It was a good guess. It's a very good guess.
I will say, I think one thing that has benefited me constantly is just simply just reading. Just reading alone. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. For me right now, the subject that I've been reading is philosophy.
I think reading is very good because you're
But I think even reading like just fictional, like if you're like wizards and Dungeons and Dragons and shit. Like you could just be reading that kind of shit, and I think that is even beneficial to.
Yes,
I think it
your
unlocks your
own mind.
vocabulary, and I think your vocabulary can articulate your thoughts.
Yeah,
much
I
better.
think my vocabulary has extensively.
you'll be able to start
broadened.
visualizing what you're seeing and hearing.
Yeah, and most importantly, articulate.
Especially because if you're one of the fortunate people, which I'm surprised there's a lot that exist that don't, whenever you're hearing yourself speak in your head, you know, because everybody has that inner dialogue. Well, not everybody. It turns out,
Yeah.
talk to
What was
myself
the
all
what was the
the time.
percentage?
I think it was 60%
That
have.
doesn't?
No,
Oh, have?
40% don't have
That's so
an
weird.
internal dialogue.
That shit-
like,
tho-
there's
tho-
motherfuckers really walk out with not a damn thing going on inside of the brain.
That
Like,
means
because whenever
40%.
I'm walking past a sign, I'm just like, I just spoke to myself in my head. I'm just like, yeah, that sign is red anyways. And I'll just keep fucking walking. And then, like, my brain is always speaking to me as like, hey, this is what we're seeing right now. It's just like, that's great. Anyways, not
40% of the population, I would say, is just NPCs. Then
Yeah.
So when you say, "Hey, excuse me," and they're like, "Sorry," so what? That means that minion just like.
yeah.
You weren't supposed to do this.
This goes
That's
against
crazy.
my
I
code.
couldn't imagine just look, when I say I have the ability to think about nothing. It's not that I'm over there just like it's I'm over there thinking about something useless.
There it is. 30 to 50% of people do not have an inner voice.
30 to 50.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's probably how terrorists are formed and shit. That's probably why all those liberals say those things that they say because they don't think about what they're saying. I wonder if that's what it is. It's just they're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I've always considered the fact that they know what they're trying to say, they just don't know how to say it. But if they've never honestly sat there and thought what they thought,
Yeah, but there are some kids where some parents have recorded their reactions. There's some kids who will like be crying and shit because they're just like, I keep hearing a voice, and it's like, to me, I think that's like when sentience is being developed because some kids will get scared of their inner voice because they can hear their inner voice talking because they're like looking at things and then it's speaking to them, but their brain can't comprehend what they're seeing or what they're hearing.
oh wow, and they're just too dumb to realize that's
Yeah,
them.
because they don't know they don't know it's them.
dude, that's
Bro,
I am not fucking around. That I've
That
seen a
is
couple
crazy.
of videos. There's only like maybe 2 or 3. I imagine that's a very rare thing to get.
Yeah,
Because
to,
that's
like, be that
literally two
smart.
mechanisms not working together.
Yeah,
That's
like to be
next
that
level
smart.
dumb.
Well, that's actually being that smart and
That's-
just being too dumb to realize how smart you are.
wow.
To me, that's
That sounds like what it is.
to me, that's
Wow.
really cool and interesting.
Yeah.
and that makes me want to get into psychology because it's so fascinating because it's such a complex system.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like you'd be really good in that aspect because you'd just be able to call out a lot of people's bullshit.
it would be kind of fun to do.
Yeah, but you
But I don't know
can't.
if
This
I
is
want a
something I've
PhD
learned
in-
is that you can't call out somebody's bullshit if they don't know it's bullshit.
Yeah, because to them it's their perceived reality and
Yeah.
truth.
How many times have you guys called me out on my bullshit? I'm like,
Because
no,
there-
ipso facto, you're fucking.
Because there will be a lot of people who know a lot about the chemistry and everything like that. That will be. I just really overgeneralized the fuck out of that. That sounded very liberal and everything like that. But
dummy.
people who know actually how some of this shit works is they'll probably think that my concept on how this stuff works is stupid because I'm not backing up anything. This is just my personal beliefs.
Yeah, it's just high
This-
talk.
To me, the improbability because the creation to be able to create something like this is beyond our understanding of reality. Something
Yeah.
that can physically make this is something we don't understand. So maybe that's why I think no hands could be involved and why I think that we're not a natural product. I think that what we are is something made by something else, but what we inhibit is something that's a natural product. I think bodies are a natural product because, I mean, I've literally watched one be created. I mean, you're talking to two that you have created.
My balls.
But are we what you created? Because whenever I say we, I'm talking about what's inhibiting these. Like, did you create the vessels, and then whatever is making the other thing supplies the vessel with the soul? I don't
I've
know.
always
Yeah.
wondered that too.
I listen to a lot of people speak
And if
on
so,
religion.
do they charge them by the month?
I
Need to
speak.
get on that business.
I listen to a lot of people with religion,
getting
and
your
I'm
soul
starting to
repoed.
learn now that when I talk to people about religion, when I ask them a question, I've learned now that they view me as attacking it, to where I'm just genuinely curious about it.
Yeah,
But
you can't really blame them either because
you can't, because they're attacked all the fucking time.
all the fucking time.
They're always on the back foot, you know? And so I get it. So now I just know I'm not going to talk about it anymore. If I want to learn about it, just go to the book. But the more I've learned about it,
I would
more-
read the Bible if they made it with better pages.
Yeah, that
they've got
flimsy
better
ass.
Fuck it.
You'd be surprised how durable that actually is.
You goddamn! I've never ripped one.
Yeah,
I've never seen a Bible with a
never
ripped
ripped one,
page.
and it's the thinnest fucking page you'll ever lay your hands on.
But the
To
more
me, they don't crease. They don't fucking crease. Every time you open one, the only thing that creases is the cover somehow, and I don't know why. And just I'm tired of that. And every time I'm telling you, you let your hand up for a second, that motherfucker
Yeah,
closes. It's just like this forbidden knowledge. It's like I'm just trying to know what Jebediah said to the bush, dog. Shit,
the more I
on that
learn,
philosophy and shit.
the more I feel that what's that religion that believed that when you die you're dead?
Lutheran,
Lutheran.
yeah, I think it was Lutheran,
yes,
like a pigeon, just dead.
yeah. Who
I
was
think-
was it Bill Burr? It was just like, yeah. Remember what it was like before you were born?
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. I
So
just,
it makes you like, technically speaking, because you're before you were born doesn't terrify you, but for some reason after you die does. It makes you wonder why.
Yeah, it's like
also
you get a
under-
glimpse of something so beautiful that it's when you learn that it's limited, you don't want to leave it.
I have finally understood the fact that I'm not afraid to die,
Fuck that.
but I'm afraid as fuck about not being here anymore. And that makes me not want to die.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I guess technically you're not afraid to die. I'm just scared to not exist.
I'm just that terrifies me. And it's not because I don't want to not exist. It's because this place is just so awesome, dude.
It's pretty cool.
I love the world, man.
Like,
Like the fact that we can sit here and have these screens and share this with anybody that's willing to listen. You know, I think it's
it'd be cool.
It's
to
beautiful,
It'd be
man.
cool to talk to some of the people that are listening to this. Like, what do they think?
yeah.
That would be kind of cool. I guess you can do that Omegle shit. I wouldn't mind
Oh,
doing that shit.
we can
one
go
time.
online one day, but you know,
On the line.
on the line. You know,
I don't-
well,
I just-
do it live. I guess not
I-
online because we're not online.
I just think something that's really cool. Like if you were to open up the window, like looking at the grass.
Would you mind
the
actually
sky.
opening it? Because I do like to see the world.
Yeah, let's see, and we get a lighting difference too.
Just raw dogging your blinds. You ain't gonna open the motherfuckers up.
Damn, though. Yeah, I just wanted it to open. I don't need perfect clarity. Oh,
Like look at that.
Yeah, mow your grass, dog.
I just mowed my grass, dude.
Yeah, why aren't you taking care of this beautiful green earth?
Man, I even edged the other
And
day.
cutting the fuck out of it.
Or
I
you
got-
or you edge in the grass or in the bed?
No,
That was a penis
That was
joke.
yesterday.
Of the penile
I edged the
variety.
yard Tuesday, Wednesday. I guess it is about time to mow it again, actually.
You just learned it's been a week.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite been a week, but that's pretty high for just.
You want
cutting
to know
that shit.
something? Since we're on the top of mortality and being afraid to not exist, somebody did the math on this, right? And this might scare the shit out of you.
Do I want to hear this?
Probably not. But so you were
But I'm
20.
gonna
You are
tell you.
25 years old.
26.
26.
Thanks, Adam.
Whatever. I mean, y'all don't know how old I am.
20.
24.
Oh,
Wrong.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, you're about to turn 24.
Yeah. So
I thought you was a little bit more smarter.
So with you being 26 years old, right?
26.
yeah, 26. That's a good number, actually.
You, sir, have 49 summers left. You have 49 summers left. The average person lives to about 75, 80.
Yeah, if they're pussies.
Yeah, dog.
No,
I'm pushing that shit.
I know, but what I'm saying is that according to what's expected of you, you have 49 summers left.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's not big numbers, dude.
Yeah. that's
And
not a
by
big
the
number
time
at
you're
all.
able to recognize that, you are 30-something% up.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But if you take away to the point where you're no longer able to physically do those things anymore,
Yeah.
you've got probably about 30 to 40 summers left.
But if it makes you feel any better, when you do become conscious of that, think about how long it took for you to get to the age you're at now. And you still got all of that to go.
Buddy, 2 weeks ago to me, it was New Year's. It's been 7 months.
Yeah, I agree with when you look at it. I agree with you there.
I don't know about that. See how long it is. I don't know. Whoever the fuck turned up the tick speed on life, because right now it seems like organic matter is growing faster and dying, and the daylight has gotten shorter. That chick's tits are fake. The NBA's rigged. I mean, like,
I agree with that. But now you're
Our
thinking.
president has dementia.
You're thinking of 7 months ago. Now think back how long 20 years ago.
I can only remember back.
Put it this way. 20. So think about how long it took to get 20 years. 20 years from now, you will be my age. That's how long you got to go. And I'm still better than all of you. At everything.
Bullshit, dude.
At absolutely
Fuck
everything.
off.